What's up again, YouTube? This is LA Prepper, and we are coming to you in portrait. Gonna have to deal with it because I can't. Well, not to say I can't, but I don't know how to have my phone landscape somewhere in this car where you can see me at a decent angle. So, doing our regular weekly laundry. I used to do it at home, but I kind of need some laundry today. And the moths will eat holes in all my shirts if I leave it out after dark. Little bastards that they are. So, oh my gosh. It's not that early, but it's too early to be up for someone who has to work at 4 o'clock. And every Tuesday through Friday, I'm good. But every Monday, man, I just can't keep my schedule, my sleep schedule through the weekend. So, what's up, Uncle Al? You've been making videos, and I haven't watched a lot of them, to be honest. Shame on me, but I haven't watched a lot of people's videos recently. I kind of check through my subscriptions once in a while, but oh man. So yeah, doing some laundry, gonna do some shopping. As far as my prepping life, mostly been working on the bike and or doing small amounts of work. Yeah, I know you've been very busy, Uncle Al. I'm very proud of you and all my other subscribers who are a lot more prolific than I am these days. Um, Hopefully the bike will change that. I'm hoping the bike will be a good excuse to kind of get up into nature, go explore a little bit. I know I don't have any videos of it yet. Maybe I'll try to shoot one today when I get it running again, or when I try to get it running again. I drained the gas out of the tank, drained the gas out of the carbs, took a quick look at the carb. Everything looked fine. The needle looked fine. The seat looked fine. The main jet looked fine. The pilot jet looked fine. The mixture screw looked fine. I took it all the way out and put it back in. So I heard it pop yesterday. I heard something pop when I turned it over. I think it was a backfire. Unless I popped a fuse, I only see fuse on it. So unless something else popped, I think my engine popped, which is sort of good. There is spark. I checked spark, so I know it's getting spark. I know the fuel cock is running, and I know fuel's getting into the carb because the carb had fuel in it. So I'm not. I gotta admit, if it doesn't, I will say the battery. I plugged it. I charged it all the way, and I had it connected to the bike for like 4 days or 5 days, and it was completely dead after I tried to start it a few times. So either my battery is a complete piece of garbage, which is possible because I ordered it online and you can never really tell. I've never heard of Apex batteries. I don't know if they're a well-known brand, but um, it has a tester on it, which is actually kind of cool. It just tells you like, green, yellow, red. And it was like yellow or red after just trying to start the bike for a few minutes. So I think there's a drain on the battery. I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on with that. Um, yeah, I have a battery charger at the house. I charged it last night. I might. I mean, the thing, it doesn't have an electric start, so I'm already kick-starting it. And I don't really, if the battery's kind of cheap, that's one thing. But if the bike's draining the battery, it really doesn't matter. Even if I had a nice battery in there, I still need to figure out what's going on with this drain. So, unfortunately, being the cheapskate that I am, I keep getting these piece of garbage. Yeah, I got to check that. It's a little difficult to find a short, but not impossible. I'll figure it out somehow. I don't know how, but somehow. Bikes, especially when they're outside, there could be a bad ground or something could be a little bit corroded, but I I can figure out when it's running. The most annoying thing would be like to have to disconnect the battery when I get to work every day. And, it's something I could do, but I'm not trying to do that all the time. So, yeah, I got to figure that out. I got to figure out why it's not running first. So, today, the battery is charged. It's got fresh gas. It's got a brand new spark plug. I haven't changed the oil yet. I have an oil filter coming on Tuesday, but old oil shouldn't stop it from running. So, and I still got to change the dirt tires off into the dual sport tires, which is going to be a super fun project. I don't know if you've ever changed a motorcycle tire, but it's lots and lots of fun. So yeah, that is what's going on in my prepping life. Or cut off a switch. Yeah. Or a cutoff switch. The kill switch. Yeah, kill switches are kind of notorious for going bad. In fact, I might take a look at that if it's still not starting. Because I think the run position, the kill switch, like, has juice going through it to keep the coil or whatever working, and when it's off, it's closed. But if there's too much corrosion, even when it's on, it's not. So I might have to jump that and see if that makes a difference. So there are several things I can take a look at. But, piece by piece. It's got compression, it's got fuel, it's got spark. It's on its way. It's on its way to running. Yeah, I haven't been camping, haven't been buying a lot of preps. I'm working on picking up a new firearm, M&P Sport 2, one of these days, so that should be pretty exciting. I'm sitting here eating a donut hole in front of my shop where I used to get donut holes, but yeah, the shop where I get them, which is close to my house, has filled donuts for $1.10. It's a pretty good deal. So, yeah, we'll get the bike running, Uncle Al. I'm not too worried about it, but I know the person that owned it tried to get it running and wasn't able to. So, but the last person who owned it, his buddy gave him a good deal on another bike right after he got this one. So I think he did the same thing that I did. Put a battery on it, put some gas, tried to run it, didn't work, and he was like, forget it. I don't think he spent that much time on it. So he was also a younger kid, not to say he didn't know how to turn a wrench, but it's possible that he just didn't try a lot of things. PayPal now. Well, that's very exciting, I suppose. Are you? Very, very exciting, Uncle Al. Is this so you can buy stuff or you can accept donations from YouTubers? I mean, to be honest, you can use PayPal for almost anything these days. Three-season sleeping bag. Yeah, I have kind of a summer bag right now. Summer / slightly cold evening bag. I think my adventure pass runs out in March. I really need to use it a couple times. I haven't even got the 5 uses out of it. I think I've used it once. Kind of a shame. But cool. Yep, so working on the bike, doing work at work, working 50 hours a week still. Have Saturdays off, which is nice. I didn't work this Saturday. I was thinking about it, but I was tired, man. I stayed up a little bit on Friday, got up at 12, kind of messed around the house. It was 3 o'clock, and I'm thinking, I'll just stay home. And it's not, I mean, if I could just go to work and do my thing by myself, that'd be one thing, and I don't mind working with other people, but You mean like 40 degrees? What do you mean 40%? Maybe you mean 40 degrees. But yeah, at work, a lot of the stuff that I do, there you go. I need to get, well, we call them buy-offs, but it means that somebody else is like looking at your stuff. So let's say I want to run a chamber through a coding process. I got to get a tech buy-off that I loaded it into the cart correctly, right? And they have these things in a lot of different ops to make sure you're not screwing up, and because to make sure you're not screwing up, basically. So it's not like I can just show up to work and do work. Sometimes I can. Certain ops I can, but a lot of ops, there's tech buy-offs. There's AO buy-offs, which is another observer. It's kind of like a level above a tech, but below quality assurance or quality inspectors. Now, a QI can do an AO buy-off, but an AO can't do a QI buy-off. So I can still call a QI over. But the thing is, depending on what hour you're there, you're not always going to have QI people available. Or if you have a lot of buy-offs on your op, you might need QI there the whole time. So it's just kind of, I could have come in, I just didn't feel like it. So I might come in this Saturday. Actually, I think this, well, I don't know. So probably a bad idea, but yeah, I got my folks coming in. Gonna give them a tour of where I work, which should be pretty exciting. At least, I hope so. It's not as exciting for me because I work there every day, but it might be exciting to someone else seeing it for the first time. I know the first few weeks that I was working there, I was kind of enamored by all the tech stuff at the factory. I suppose I could try to touch on stuff happening around the world right now. I have, let's see, what's big in America? Government shutdown just ended recently. That was, or at least it ended temporarily. Trump's trying to get funding for the wall. We'll see how that goes, whether or not he's going to declare a national emergency. I have to admit, I am more conservative now than I used to be, and it kind of surprises me. I'm not anti-immigration, but I do support the rule of law, and this sort of notion that the Democrats want to kind of keep letting people just kind of stream in here and collect services and cost us money, and just kind of confuses me a little bit. I understand immigration's been part of this country for a long time, but the rule of law has been part of this country and its history for a long time too. So, if you want to come to America and be American and become a citizen and follow our way of life and kind of bring part of your culture into our culture, that's really cool. But if you want to come here and not follow the rule of law and not really kind of become assimilated into American culture, then you just sort of, I don't really get that, Yeah, SoCal, I think Californians and people that live on the southern border have a slightly different perspective on immigration and border issues because they see it, they see lines at the DMV. They have trouble getting into classes. They have to press 2 to habla español, whenever they call somewhere. So, wow, and why do I have a bruise on my ankle? What the hell did I do? Yeah, most people I think are for legal immigrations. I'm for most legal activities. But yeah, I don't talk about immigration too much because it is a very polarizing issue. But it's a crazy thing, It's a crazy thing because I suspect that most of the people that are sort of supporting this, open border, let's let everyone in and give them all asylum, probably keep their doors locked at night. So it's like, you wouldn't let anyone just come into your house and sleep overnight on your couch and give them $100 and tell them to do whatever. and yet we sort of are trying to keep America's borders from not being closed or not being secured. So it's a little bit strange to me. Am I buying MREs? I am not buying MREs. I like them. I like eating them. I think it's fun opening up all the little different things. I don't get sick of them too easily. But they're kind of expensive. You know, if I could get an MRE for a very similar price to what the food would be, try one. The novelty hasn't worn off on me yet, you know. If I had to eat them for a week straight, that might be different, but what's up, RG? Yeah, there's not too many people here. It's not a very exciting live stream. I'm not building fires or anything, but and I would try to live stream when working on the bike, but it wouldn't be a very long live stream. It would be about 5 minutes of me trying to jumpstart it and then giving up, you know, or kickstart it. Right? Oh man, this banana is very ripe. I should have made some banana bread or something with it. In fact, I tried to make some pie crust the other night. It was a fucking, it was a fucking disaster. I had the ingredients right. Trying to mix butter and flour by hand. Oh my god, forget about it. What a disaster. I ended up with like big pieces of butter all in the dough, and the crust was too thick, and I had some apple pie filling, but the crust still kind of tasted like floury, like I would bite in and there'd be like pieces of flour. So I think I need a little more water. It was quite an adventure. Yeah, so I was telling Uncle Al, RG, or telling anyone watching the live stream, we got new gas in the tank, new gas in the carb, new spark plug. I bought some new oil, but I haven't changed it yet. I'm waiting on a filter. Yeah, I know pie dough is easy. When you have a mixer and you have like a rolling pin and you have, you know, more than 2 square feet of kitchen space. But I think the bike might have popped yesterday when I was kicking it. It's only a kickstart, so that's been super fun. I'm not sure I'll buy another dual sport that's a kickstart, but it's all right. Yeah, practicing by hand is good, I suppose. For when Teotwaki hits us, right? But I need the bike because my car's been acting funny. My car's transmission is being very ill-mannered. I have a problem with I'm sure you do, Uncle Al, and I'm sure they're quite pleasant. But yeah, my car's transmission has a problem with overdrive. Going from third into overdrive, it will sort of go like like chunk a little bit, or sputter, clunk, if you will. So I'm thinking it could be the torque converter, but I don't think it's the torque converter because it feels more like the third to overdrive shift, not like, I think the torque converter can lock, I think. So like that would be when I'm in overdrive and then it sort of locks, but I think it might be the overdrive solenoid, which is part of the reason I got the bike, because if the car, you know, I could take the oh, stop, Uncle Al. And it's not even really funny because my car transmission died right when I bought it. The engine's fine, it's just the transmission's doing weird shit. So I could, if I took it to a repair shop, they would say, well, let's do a drain and flush and charge, you know, drain, flush, filter change, charge me $500, and it wouldn't necessarily fix the problem. Every auto shop on the planet wants to drain and flush your system. You know, oh, my car's overheating, flush your coolant. Oh, my oil is doing whatever, you know, flush your oil, right? But I'm not to say that it doesn't help, but I don't think it's a cure-all, right? So I want to drop the transmission pan, take a look at the channels, take the oil, take the transmission filter out, change that. Probably just replace the overdrive solenoid. You mean my automatic? Well, I have an automatic car, so you mean like the automatic clutch or whatever the automatic transmission clutch is? This car has the model, I should say, has a history. The RX 300 has a history of transmission issues. they they just go bad. The guy at the shop was trying to show me the piece in the middle that caused all the problems. I can't remember what it looks like, but I don't know what I'm going to do with this car. I kind of want to keep it. It would be worth it to me to fix the transmission. I think even if I had to pay 2 or 3 grand, a new car would cost me, or a new used car, unless I get like a little Toyota Corolla or something, going to cost me a few $1,000 anyways, and it could have problems with its own. And the engine in this car, even though it has 220 odd thousand miles, is doing all right. Leaks a little bit of oil, but it still runs. And it's never, knock on wood, the engine's never died on me once. When I had it, I put 70,000 miles on it, so I have somewhat faith in this engine, but I do need the transmission to work, which is why I'm trying to get the bike working so that I can have the car in pieces over a weekend, or take it to a shop. You can't just take your car to a transmission shop and have them fix it the same day, sadly. I could take it to a Lexus dealership and get a free Lexus loaner car, but $700 transmission work later, right? So yeah, cars giving me issues, bikes giving me issues. What are you gonna do? You gotta keep your shit running. It's hard to drive to Harbor Freight and buy more preps when your car's giving you issues. So vehicle maintenance, while it's not a very exciting thing, is certainly something that preppers need to be up on. And taking your car to the dealer or to the shop is not always a great solution. I mean, there are mechanics out there that are honest, that try to, don't try to always upsell you on everything they can think of on the planet, but it's been my experience anyways. Has been my experience. But yeah, otherwise, I think we're gonna jump in and check on my laundry in a minute. My new laundry schedule, so I don't have to sit around here. As I come, I do my laundry. Maybe I'll do a vlog every time just to kind of check up on my subs and such. A Viking funeral. That's that where you put it in a boat and set the boat on fire and send it down the stream or something? Oh, Uncle Al. I will never get tired, Uncle Al, of the unique things you bring to a conversation. How are you, Uncle Al? Are you doing all right? You got any interesting projects going on? Gone on any trips recently? Yeah, I would be sad if I had to get rid of this car, though. I would. I love this car. Even though it gives me issues, and has for quite some time. Put the bike in the car and then set them both on fire, right? No, though I like the bike. I got the bike for half off the price of a bike that runs. That DR350 running, $1,800, $2,000 all day. They're very hard to find, and people love them for obvious reasons, because they're cool. They're not just because they're cool, they're good bikes when they run. And when they run, they basically run forever. There's some problem that people have with the pin on the counterbalance crankshaft. There's a counterbalance weight that's connected to the crankshaft by a pin, but the pin was drilled all the way through and didn't really have a stop. So there's the crankshaft's here, the counterbalance is here, and there's a pin that goes between them. But the pin is smooth and there's no stop on either end. There's no cotter pins or anything. So the pin can sort of work its way out one way or the other and cause very, very serious issues. So at some point, I will probably take off the head and take a look at that. I'm sure if I watched your videos, I would figure out what you've been busy working on, Uncle Al, but I'm afraid I have not as of late. But I think we're going to sign off here soon. I got to put my clothes in the dryer, get $1, put some quarters in there. Volunteer work, good for you, Uncle Al. That's something that I need to get back into. I I was doing some stuff feeding people at a church in the morning, but it's 7 in the morning, and that just really screws up my schedule. I'm so tired on Sunday at 7 in the morning, so that didn't really work out. But I feel like I feel like you dating a stripper makes sense, Uncle Al. I don't know why, but I feel like it does. I don't know why. I think you've had like stripper friends before. Maybe it's just like your mantra. Everyone should have an active romantic life, if you ask me. It doesn't matter what you think of yourself or how many times you take a shower a day. There's somebody out there who would probably enjoy doing the same things you do. Golf. I never knew you played golf, Uncle Al. I'm glad to hear it. I am terrible at golf. I don't hate it. It's an alright game, but I am not very good at it. Mini golf. Now that's another thing. Love me some mini golf. But, yep, have not been doing much camping or outdoor stuff or anything like that. I mean, a lot of people I sort of feel like think strippers. You have a horse? How is this the first time I've heard that you have a horse, Uncle Al? You've never talked about your horse. You've never even done a video of your horse. I want to see your horsey. I want to see a video on the horse. Do you like ride it out in the trails and stuff? That'd be cool. I wouldn't mind riding my horse, but I don't want to ride other people's horses. Like you can rent horses. I don't want to rent a horse. I would own a horse. It would be a lot of money and a lot of maintenance. But I don't really want to rent somebody else's horse. Unless like I knew they had a pretty cool horse. Like maybe I'd ride my friend's horse, but I don't want to ride a rental horse. Yeah, so anyways, you talk a lot about it. Oh, I know there's great riding spots all around California, I'm sure. I don't know, I can't remember if you're in California or not, RG. But anyways. All right, folks, I think we're going to sign off and have a very exciting day of laundry, working on the bike, and then being half awake until 4 o'clock and drinking 2 coffees and staying up till 2 a.m. Because that's my work life. But until next time, I hope things are going well. Oh, I'm not to ride. So you've been riding your horse, but you're not supposed to ride your horse. Sounds about right, Uncle Al. But until next time, stay safe, stay frugal, keep working on your projects, keep buying water, keep buying food, and most importantly,